So here, finally, is our Razer Blade 18 review. Razer's largest and most powerful laptop to date. With Intel's new 275HX processor and Nvidia's 5000 range of GPUs. It's got a stunning 4K 240Hz panel that can switch to a native 1200p 440Hz for those esports gamers, and a mesmerising new glass base with RGB lighting. But this is one expensive laptop. Is it worth it? Keep watching to find out. Hi, this is David from Ash IT, and here is our review of the Razer Blade 18. Now before we start, this model is the RTX 5080 version, but you can also opt for a 5070 Ti or a 5090 model, depending on your budget. Now other than the graphics card, there's not a lot much else you can configure. By default, it comes with 32GB of 5600 DDR5 RAM and a 1TB Gen 4 drive. Now you can opt for 64GB and up to 4TB of SSD on the 5090 model, but to be honest, it's always much cheaper just to upgrade it yourself, and we will do a video of that in the future. Now all Blade 18 configurations have the dual resolution 4K plus screen, which can switch to 1200p, but we'll cover that more later on. We also get Wi-Fi 7 and a 99 watt-hour battery, which is the largest battery you can put in a consumer laptop. This little beast cost me £3,599 in the UK. So with those specs out of the way, let's take a look. Now this design is very similar to your typical Razer Blade, with a chassis made from milled aluminium. The build quality is fantastic, and the laptop feels incredibly solid. This year, the chassis is actually thicker than the previous Razer Blade 18 laptops, due to the new thermal shelf that they've added to the bottom. This little thermal shelf raises the laptop whilst providing more room for larger fans and better airflow. As an added benefit, they installed a glass panel with an RGB strip, so you can amaze all your friends with the bottom of your laptop. Other than the thickness, the size remains the same, and although a large laptop, it's much more compact than many other 18-inch laptops out there. It also only weighs 3.1 kilograms, which again, whilst being heavier than a MacBook Air, is nothing like carrying around an actual Alienware 18 at 4.3 kilograms. As usual, we get the fingerprint magnet black finish with the Razer logo on the lid. Sadly, I've been told there's going to be no Mercury versions of the Blade 16 or the Blade 18 this year. But I really hope I've got that wrong, because I absolutely love my old-fashioned 2023 Blade 18. With regards to the ports, we get a great selection this year. On the left side, we get the actual Razer power jack, we get an RJ45, we get two USB-A ports and a Thunderbolt 5 port. And right at the front there, you can see we've got a headset jack. As we move around to the right, we get a Kensington lock, so you can lock it down to your desk if you're in an office environment, an HDMI 2.1 port, another USB-A port and another Thunderbolt 5 port. And then right at the front, we've got a memory card reader. So for an 18-inch laptop, I think that's a good array of ports. There's nothing on the front, bar the status LED, and nothing on that rear. Opening the lid reveals the strong hinges and the solid feeling display. There's no wobble on this laptop like there are on cheaper brands. Now my only gripe is it actually can be quite difficult to open this time, as the cutout is not very big to get your fingers in. Looking to the palm rest, and being a milled chassis, we get the same fingerprint magnet material coating, so keep that microfiber cloth with you at all times so that other Razer users won't think you're a dirty peasant with your grubby laptop. Now the trackpad is actually smaller this year than previous Razer Blade 18s, though still massive compared to other laptops. But the trackpad does feel great and track and click well, as you'd expect on a laptop of this price. Moving to the keyboard, and here we get a massive change this year. Razer have finally given us a number pad. You get the usual stunning per key backlighting with countless brightness settings. We get the improved travel this year. And new this year is the dual backlighting, where it can now light your secondary functions. Pressing the function key shows your commands, and pressing the shift key shows your secondary characters, and this is really useful. The number pad also includes this feature, and the secondary functions include the macros, mic mute and the profile switch key, which I find really handy. Now either side of the keyboard you can see the speaker grills, and this laptop has a 6-speaker system and it sounds like this. So speaker test of the 2025 Razer Blade 18. Now we're going to use our Razer Blade 18 2023 so we can compare it, and we're going to start with that one. So let's see how it sounds at 50% volume. Now the new 2025 version. Okay, now moving up to 80% volume and starting with the 2023. Now the 2025. Finally 100%. So there we go, that's a bit of a surprise, but despite being very slightly bigger than the last year's 2024-2023 model, the speakers were actually slightly worse in our opinion. Both are really good speakers, but the older 2023 model that I'm testing here in Mercury just felt like it had a little bit more bass. Now I did make sure that both had the same EQ selected, so there's not a difference in the EQ, so not really sure why the new model's not quite as good as the old. And as we move up to the screen, we've got a bit to talk about here. This screen is very unique. Razer have given us a 3840 by 2400 IPS, 240Hz, about 520 nit panel that is amazing for work and play. Now, despite being IPS, the colours are great and I had almost no IPS glow and backlight bleed. The screen can also be switched via signups to 1920 by 1200 at 440Hz for those esports players out there that want an incredibly fast panel. And being only 1200p means that the RTX 5080 that I've got can drive it at this native resolution at really high FPS. Now I thought this was going to be a gimmick, but I've been absolutely loving it. 1200p still looks great on an 18-inch panel, and the 5080 can drive anything that I've thrown at it at high frame rates at that resolution. Now the only pain is having to reboot to switch to this mode, but for someone like me, I would use the 4K for work all day, then in the evening I'd switch over to 1200p for a night of PUBG or finals at high FPS. Now I know most people are going to be complaining about the lack of OLED or mini LED at this price range, but we still don't have an 18-inch OLED panel, and mini LED still suffers from its own problems like bloom and some slow pixel transitions, so I'm actually happy with the option that Razer has provided. And it is also a very different approach to Alienware, who went for a more traditional 1600p fast screen, which is probably a better pure gaming option, but if you're looking for a laptop for work and play, this is an incredible option itself. Now above the screen we have the 5MP webcam, which looks like this. This is a test of the webcam on the Razer Blade 18 2025 edition. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think this looks and sounds like. Hopefully this is a bit of an upgrade, but webcams on laptops are usually pretty rubbish. The laptop also gets a web shutter this year and also includes Windows Hello facial recognition. So now that we've looked around the laptop, let's crack it open and look at the internals. As usual with Razer, it's very easy to get the base plate off. 10 T5 screws and we can slide the base panel up towards you. Once inside, we're greeted with a large 99 watt-hour battery, which has a fan right in the centre. Hopefully this fan will keep the battery at sensible temperatures and thus help avoid making a spicy pillow just outside of your warranty. Either side of the battery we can see the large speaker enclosures and the socketed Wi-Fi card. There being a Wi-Fi 7 card installed, you probably won't need to upgrade this for a few years. We can also see the 1TB Gen 4 SSD. It performs well, but it's a shame they didn't give us a Gen 5 SSD this year like most other premium brands. There's also two DDR5 SODIMM slots with 5600 RAM installed. Again, this is another area where competitors are giving us faster 6400 RAM, and when spending this much money on a laptop, Razer shouldn't be penny pinching here. It's these little nagging choices that could push a buyer away to Alienware, Asus or a Legion. We do, however, get two large fans and a vapor chamber cooler blowing all that hot air out of the back of the laptop. And that brings us neatly to the performance section. Now starting with the CPU, and the Intel 275HX has 24 CPU cores and is an absolute powerhouse this year, but at the expense of wattage. Fortunately, the improved cooling does wonders for this Razer Blade 18, giving us respectable Geekbench 6 and Cinebench R24 scores. Now the larger Alienware 18 does score better here, but the Razer Blade have often prioritised portability and design over thermals, which is why we never get a Razer Blade with those chunky rear grills. Razer do offer a fair few profiles this year to adjust the performance and acoustic to your needs. We tested all the main profiles in Cinebench R24, and in this table you can see how each of those profiles perform. Now I really like how the profiles differ, and the silent mode is actually pretty silent. And even the balance mode offers 100 watts pure CPU performance at only 45 decibels. Now moving on to the Nvidia RTX 5080, and although not a massive step up from the 4080 it replaced, it does now get 16GB of GDR7. We also get advanced Optimus and a G-Sync capable panel. The HDMI is connected directly to the RTX card, as is the right Thunderbolt port. The left Thunderbolt is connected to Optimus. Now this is a great solution, meaning you can still use Optimus with external displays, or you can switch to the other side and use the Nvidia for your G-Sync panels or your virtual reality headset. Performance-wise, it's on par with other 5080s that we've tested lately. 3D benchmarks score exactly where we'd expect it to, whilst in that turbo mode. In turbo, we get a cross-load of 280 watts, and in my day-to-day gaming, I'm hitting almost close to that. As mentioned earlier, Razer offers 4 profiles and a custom profile. Every profile offers different wattages and therefore different fan noise, but all profiles give playable performance. So with regards to the fan noise, the silent mode comes in at a whisper quiet 35 decibels for quiet gaming. Balanced was 46 decibels, performance 53 decibels, and that turbo 55 decibels, so that's pretty impressive. Also, whilst gaming on this laptop, the palm rest remains cool, so there was no scorched palms like we've had with Razer Blades of old. Now the profiles and lighting is controlled via the Razer Synapse 4, which is a good upgrade over Razer Synapse 3. In here you can control the lighting, macros, your monitor hertz and colour profiles, as well as switching all the power profiles. Now there is even a custom profile that allows overclocking and undervolting. Now apart from the Synapse software, there's no bloat on this install, which is much appreciated, though expected, on a laptop of this price. And on to battery life, and as usual, you don't buy an 8-inch laptop for portability and working on the go. But the 99 watt-hour battery got a very average 6 hours and 10 minutes in our usual test of streaming YouTube over Wi-Fi at 200 nits of brightness. Now this is the best result that we've managed so far with a 275HX laptop, but it pales in comparison to the Razer Blade 16 with that Ryzen chip. Now one area where the Intel chips still do excel is the performance on battery, which is much stronger than the Ryzen Blade 16, and the Blade 18 feels as snappy on battery as it does on mains, though there is quite a drop-off in battery life if you heavily utilise the CPU and GPU. Now the laptop comes with a huge and heavy 400 watt power supply, but the good news is the Thunderbolt 5 ports are capable of 100 watts of power delivery. Now the power delivery performance was excellent, and gaming was even possible with a 100 watt charger or a PD monitor, but expect some battery drain. I was seeing almost 10% drain per hour with heavy gaming over PD. But when I was working or just watching movies, there was no drain at all. I also tested my older 330 watt Razer PSU from last year's Blades, and it works absolutely fine if you have one kicking around, though you will only be able to use the balanced power profile. So there we go, there's the review of the Razer Blade 18. This is an absolutely fantastic laptop. I'm absolutely loving using this one. It is very expensive, as is always the case with Razer Blades, but it is a fantastic machine for somebody that may be a content creator or wants a laptop for work and play. Now I think there are better 18-inch gaming laptops out there if you're just purely gaming, but for someone like myself who does use the same laptop for work and for gaming, this is an amazing option. Now as always, I'd love to know what you guys think. Pop your comments about this laptop down below and I will get back to you. And lastly, thank you for watching.